Imagine opening your eyes. The ground is frozen. Your hands are shaking. Your feet are numb. The fire is almost dead. And the sun is still hours away. You have no coat, no warm house, no phone, no rescue, only cold air, and a body that is losing heat. This was not a bad camping trip. This was primitive survival. And in the ancient world, cold did not need claws. It could kill quietly. Today, cold feels easy to escape. We close a door. We turn on heat. We wear jackets. We drink something warm. But early humans had none of that. For them, cold was not just uncomfortable. Cold was a real danger. It could slow the body. It could confuse the mind. It could make fingers useless. It could turn one mistake into death. The CDC says hypothermia can happen when the body loses heat faster than it can make it. Signs can include shivering, confusion, slurred speech, and drowsiness. That means cold is not only outside the body. Cold gets inside the body. And that is what made it terrifying. The cold begins. Picture a small group of early humans. They are far from modern life. There are no roads, no blankets, no metal tools, no glass windows, no thick walls, only open land, only stone, only wood, only animal skin, only fire, if they can keep it alive. The wind begins to rise. The sky grows darker. Snow or freezing rain starts to fall. At first, the cold feels painful. Then the body fights back. It starts to shiver. Shivering is not random. It is the body trying to make heat. The muscles move fast. They burn energy. They try to keep you alive. But this is where things get dangerous. Shivering uses fuel. Fuel comes from food. And food was not always easy to find. So cold was not one problem. It was many problems at once. Cold made you need heat. Heat made you need food. Food made you need hunting. Hunting made you face danger. And danger was everywhere. The body starts to fail. Cold does not kill all at once. It works slowly. First, your hands shake. Then your fingers feel stiff. Then your feet feel heavy. You move slower. You think slower. You make bad choices. A small mistake becomes serious. You drop a tool. You walk the wrong way. You forget to feed the fire. You sit down too long. And this next part is scary. A freezing person may not understand how much danger they are in. Confusion is one sign of hypothermia. That means the mind can fail before the body is fully gone. For primitive humans, this was brutal. A confused person could leave the group. A confused person could fall behind. A confused person could stop moving. And in deep cold, stopping could be deadly. This is why the group mattered. One person could notice. One person could pull you close. One person could add wood. One person could say, "Do not sleep yet." Alone, the cold was stronger. Together, humans had a chance. Wet skin was a silent enemy. Cold air was dangerous. But wet cold was worse. Rain, snow, sweat, wet clothes, wet animal hides, wet hair, wet ground. Water steals heat fast. A body can feel cold, then colder, then weaker. And primitive humans had to understand this without science. They learned from pain. They learned from death. They learned that dry shelter mattered. They learned that wind mattered. They learned that the ground could steal heat. They learned that a cave could save life. They learned that a rock wall could block wind. They learned that dry grass, hides, or branches could protect a body. This was not comfort. This was survival. A good shelter did not need to be beautiful. It needed to stop wind. It needed to stay dry. It needed to keep heat close. That was enough. Because in the cold, small things become big things. A dry place matters. A hidden fire matters. A shared body heat matters. A wall of stone matters. A piece of hide matters. And one missing piece could change everything. Fire was more than light. For ancient people, fire was not decoration. Fire was life. It gave heat. It gave light. It helped cook food. It kept the group together. It may have helped scare animals away. And in cold places, fire could mean one more sunrise. Evidence for early fire use is complex. At Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, researchers reported burned bone and plant ash from about 1 million years ago. More recent research from Barnum in England suggests repeated fire making around 400,000 to 415,000 years ago. This claim should be phrased carefully because fire evidence can be hard to prove. Now imagine that ancient camp. The fire is small. The wind is strong. The wood is wet. Everyone knows the danger. If the fire dies, the cold moves closer. So someone watches it. Someone brings fuel. Someone protects the flame. Someone shields it from wind. A fire was not just made. It was guarded. It was carried. It was fed. It was treated like a living thing. Because in a freezing world, fire was the difference between night and death. Clothing changed the fight. The human body is not made like a bear. We do not have thick fur. We do not have heavy winter coats growing from our skin. So cold was a serious problem. Some ancient humans had body shapes that help. Neanderthals were shorter and stockier than modern humans. The Smithsonian says this kind of body shape helps retain heat in cold environments. But body shape was not enough. Humans needed technology. They needed clothing. They needed hides. They needed scraping tools. They needed holes. They needed ties. They needed layers. The Smithsonian notes that Middle Stone Age toolkits included scrapers and stone awls. These could help repair hides and make holes in them. An awl is a pointed tool. It can make holes. A hide is animal skin. It can cover the body. This was a huge step, because a hide could block wind. A hide could hold warmth. A hide could protect skin. A hide could let humans move into colder places. There is also evidence from clothing lice. Some studies use lice to estimate when regular clothing began. These estimates can point to tens of thousands of years ago, possibly more than 100,000 years ago. But this is indirect evidence. The main point is simple. Clothing was not fashion first. Clothing was survival. Hunger made cold worse. Cold makes the body burn energy. That means food becomes even more important. A cold human needs fuel. Without fuel, the body weakens. Without strength, work becomes hard. Without work, firewood is harder to collect. Without firewood, the camp gets colder. This is the cruel loop. Cold creates hunger. Hunger creates weakness. Weakness makes cold more dangerous. So primitive survival was not just about finding a warm place. It was about finding enough food. Meat helped. Fat helped. Marrow helped. Marrow is the soft fat inside bones. It gives energy. Stone tools help early humans cut meat and break bones. The Smithsonian says early stone toolmaking developed by at least 2.6 million years ago. In cold lands, every calorie mattered. A failed hunt could be dangerous. A lost fire could be dangerous. A torn hide could be dangerous. A wet shelter could be dangerous. One problem was hard. Many problems together were deadly. And this is what made cold so brutal. It did not attack one thing. It attacked everything. So what was the brutal reality of primitive survival in the cold? It was not just snow. It was not just wind. It was not just darkness. It was the body slowly losing the fight. It was hands that stopped working. It was feet that stopped feeling. It was hunger getting worse. It was a fire that might die. It was a shelter that might fail. It was a night that felt too long. But this is also what makes early humans amazing. They survived. Not because they were the strongest. Not because they were warm by nature. But because they learned. They learned to make fire. They learned to guard it. They learned to shape tools. They learned to use hides. They learned to build shelter. They learned to stay together. Cold was an enemy, but it was also a teacher. It forced humans to think ahead. It forced humans to plan. It forced humans to share. It forced humans to invent. And maybe that is the hidden truth. The cold did not only try to destroy us, it helped shape us. Every fire, every shelter, Every piece of hide, every shared meal, every night survived. All of it pushed humans forward. We did not survive the cold by being alone. We survived because we became smarter together. If this changed how you see ancient survival, this channel tells simple stories from the wild past. And tell me in the comments, what would scare you more? The freezing cold? Or being alone in it?